Hello and welcome to Rust and Roses. This is Rebecca and I want to thank you for stopping by today. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for returning and supporting my channel. If you're not a subscriber, let me know if you like the content by subscribing to my channel and helping me grow so that I can bring more content. It's all about hearts today. We're going to be making lots of hearts for Valentine's. I'm decorating the den with my Valentine's tree and my garland. So let's get started and have a lot of fun. And I hope this inspires you to make some of your own. Today it's going to be all about the heart for Valentine's Day. I'm in the process of making some large hearts for my dough bowl that I'm going to fill, and I'm going to make some small hearts. As you can see, I've got different pattern material. This is just some fat quarters that I got from Walmart. Some muslin that I picked up, Lord knows where, I don't even know how long ago. Some little burlap flowers. And then I've got some wooden hearts that I'm actually going to decoupage material and then lace over that. And then decorate it with the various flowers. Those little pink, almost foam flowers came from Michael's. This is a different type of pattern, but I did find that flower on a stem at Dollar Tree. And these are some of the coffee filter roses that I actually watched a video and made myself. And I plan to use those on the more neutral flowers in this particular segment. And then I have some of this really pretty material. Again, it's a fat quarter from Walmart that I just cut some hearts out. And I found some flowers in my stash that color coordinated. So that's what I plan to do today. So once we get these all put together, I'll show you what they turned out to be. I've got all different kinds of lace from Temu. This is an older one that actually belonged to my mother-in-law forever ago. I thought it would be pretty with the neutrals. I've got some chiffon ribbon that I ordered from Amazon in the various colors, but this is the color that I want to use. And then I'm going to use some various embellishments like the little pearl dots. I've got the larger size and the smaller size, so I can kind of play around with the various decorations. And this is a gross grain that I found at Michael's forever ago. And this color just seemed to just sing with this piece of material. So I wanted to use that on this particular heart. So as you can see, I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I have this dough bowl that belonged to my grandmother, and I wanted to fill it up with hearts. And these are just a few of the ones that I've been playing around with that I finished already. And you can see that's the different materials, the little foam flowers. This and the material on the other side is different. This one is a print on one side and a polka dot on the other. Not sure how I feel about that rustic piece of material there, so I'll probably change that one. But these are just the ones I've been working on so far, and as you can see, I still have a lot left to do. So we're going to go through the process just one quick time, and then once I'm finished, I will show you the small ones I'm making for my garland that is hanging on my TV stand. I made it with beads, just regular 20 millimeter beads and some leftover beads I had found for Christmas. So let's get busy. As I said before, we're going to be making some large hearts and some small hearts. The small hearts I am making to go on the garland that I created using 20 millimeter beads, and then I had some leftover red beads from Christmas that I added to it, because it's Valentine. But when we start to put our hearts together here, you'll see that if I'm putting lace on the front, I'm going to go ahead and put my lace on the heart so that when I put the other half, these are going to be stuffed hearts with a little bit of polyfil. But I wanted to go ahead and put my lace on so that when I glued those together, it would be on the inside of the heart. And basically what I do is I just take my glue gun and make the V at the very top to make sure that that's secured. And then once that is down, I will lift up the various parts from side to side on my hearts and glue that down. Now I'm using my detail glue gun to make a fine line of glue because I don't want it to squeeze out, but I do want it to to hold it securely. So I make a fine line with my detail glue gun and then just tap that until it's completely secured together, of course, and then do the other side. Now, if you didn't want to do the polyfil, you could leave these just plain and use some sort of fabric stiffener. Depends on what you're going to be using them for. I wanted them to hang on my garland, so I wanted them to have a little bit of like a 3D effect, so I wanted to use the polyfil. But if you don't have polyfil, you can use something like your grocery bags, leftover plastic grocery bags from Walmart, Dollar Tree, whatever. And you can also cut those up and use it. I just happen to have some old pillows that were given to me, and I cut them apart and saved all of the polyfil out of them, so that's what I'm going to use to stuff these. Now with the small hearts, I can get the stuffing all the way to the end with my finger. With the larger hearts, I have to rely on a skewer or a bamboo stick, some sort. I found that chopsticks are also really good for that. But once I have the polyfil all the way in and stuffed in, I'm going to close up my heart. And here you can see I had a little bit of polyfil sticking out. I didn't want it to get glue on it. So I stuffed that in, finish gluing this all the way down to the tip, making sure that I line that heart up really well. And then on the other side, the same process. And I'm sorry I went out of frame a little bit. I think I have found a better view for my camera. It's actually coming from above, so it's a lot easier for you to see what I'm actually doing with my hands. But I'm just adding the glue to this side, and I pull it a little bit until the glue makes contact with itself, and then I press it down. And as you can see, I missed a tiny little spot right there, so you want to go around your heart and inspect it to make sure that you don't have any little spots that are open that your polyfil can pop out of. I had a lot of fun making these and trying to decide all the various decorations and different ways I wanted to go with this. So I hope this inspires you to make some of your own. Now this is, this is my taste. This is the material that I chose because I love that French country look. It's absolutely just speaks to my heart. But you choose anything you want. If you want the neutral colors, I did some neutral colors as well. But here I'm just going to take a piece of twine, and make a hanger, because these are the ones that will be going on my garland that is in my den where we watch TV with my Valentine decoration. I couldn't decide if I wanted to put these on my garland or if I wanted to put them on my Valentine tree. But in the end, I decided on the garland because they're so cute hanging there, and you see them right as you walk in the door. So I thought they were adorable. Now, if I had to do it again, I would probably do my twine differently. I would actually spread my twine out and glue it on either side of the heart, the part of the heart that goes up. That way it would absolutely ensure that they hang like they're supposed to hang on the garland. I had a little bit of a time getting them to stay where I wanted them to be on the garland. They kept wanting to spin. So there are various ways that you could do that. But if you have any tips or tricks for me to help me, understand how to make them hang straight down and not twist, that would be very helpful. So just pop that down in the comments below. But here I have just I actually got these garland of flowers from Big Lots when they were going out of business in our town. And I just pulled some off of the garland and put them together with some floral tape. And the floral tape is excellent for keeping this together. And here I just need to decide, do I want these to go down? Do I want them to go up? Just play with it until you find the arrangement that you're actually looking for. I think some I did up and some I did down. But I thought it looked cute that way up under the lace. So that's the way I decided to go with this one. But as you'll see later, try to do some variations of decorations or embellishments, as you want to say. So hey, I think I like that. Looks like that's the way we're going then. Put a generous dollop of glue there to make sure that it holds well, and then let that dry. Just hold it in place until that dries. And of course you're going to have to get off all those glue strings. But you can also hit these with the heat gun a little bit just to get rid of any glue strings that you might have left behind. And I don't show it on the video, but I do go back later and I use my Bare Dark Wax to just kind of grunge up the edges a little bit to make them look a little bit worn and old. I don't want them to look spanking brand new and sparkly white. I want them to have that vintage look, so I went back and used my brush on the edges. And here you can see I'm just going to make a shoestring bow. I've been trying to practice these. Sometimes my fingers don't cooperate, and I apologize for going from going out of frame on that. But it takes a little bit of concentration for me. I haven't quite mastered that one yet. As you can see, I'm still playing with the loops. But anyway, you're just going to make a little shoestring bow or any kind of bow, the best kind of bow that you can make for you. I've been watching tons of bow tutorial videos lately to try to figure out which ones are best for me. So anyway, I get my little bow made out of lace, making sure that my loops are both the same size. Measure it again, make sure that I get them the same. And finally, they are the same. So I can now actually glue them in place. So I'm going to put my little bow at the top of my flowers. And again, I apologize for being out of frame. I still have to get used to this new angle that I have discovered. So bear with me. I actually sat and cut out all of these hearts one evening as my husband and I were watching TV together. I like to do that sort of thing, what we would call the menial task. Cutting out all of them at the same time makes it a lot easier when you start to put them together. And then all you have to do is go through the process, kind of like rote repetition. Glue the heart together, put on the holder, embellish it, decide where you want your flowers, and then add a pretty bow. And there you can see. We have that one done. I'm going to trim this off just a little bit to make sure that it's even with the side of the heart. And then there was one I did later, I think, where I actually let the tails of the bow hang down longer. So give it a different look. But there you have the tiny little hearts for my garland. So here I just wanted to show you the large hearts that I actually put in my dough bowl or bread bowl, whichever. And this bread bowl belonged to my grandmother, and it was passed down to my mom, and then when she passed, I got it. So just wanted to show you the different embellishments that I decided to do. This is a neutral one with some ribbon around, and that's my coffee filter rose with the white sunflower, and some of that fuzzy ribbon. And this one I just used burlap flower and then some lace around the outside. This one I used one of the foam flowers and some very sheer ribbon with one of the pearl dots at the top, and a little bit of baby's breath. And then this one I had some of that shaky ribbon, I don't know what you call it. I found this pile of ribbon, a bundle of ribbon I should say, at Walmart, and just absolutely fell in love because it's every different kind of ribbon you could ever imagine. This one has the little checkered bow with the pearl in the middle, a little bit of baby's breath. And then this was where I used that green color grosgrain ribbon underneath the white ribbon. I thought it was really pretty and complemented the green that was in the color of the material. And this one, the fence is still out on this one. I'm thinking about changing that bow because I'm not sure it really goes. And you can always embellish these on both sides and then turn them over and change them out depending on the day it is or the way you feel. So that's my dough bowl full of hearts. Been a little chatty today, but I wanted to try to let you get to know me a little bit better through some of my crafts. So please pardon the chatty Cathy routine, but I've enjoyed being with you today. And here are the smaller hearts with the polyfil that this is the one I actually showed you I was doing. This is the garland that I made with the beads. I had some of those red leftover beads from Christmas, so I added those to my string to give it that Valentine vibe. And here you see I use burlap flowers and the pearl dots, the foam flowers, and then the ribbon. And just made a variety of, and this is the one where the ribbon is hanging down below the heart, just made a variety of hearts to go on my garland itself. So if you've stuck with me this long, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Rebecca with Rust and Roses.